It is a 36-degree Monday night here in Jacksonville, Alabama. College basketball taking center stage. It's the conference opener for Western Kentucky and the Gamecocks of Jack State. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside Pete Matthews Coliseum. Eli Gold, Mickey Shadricks alongside. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And now it's the start of the real season for college basketball. Conference play is here.
Yeah, the non-conference schedule, at least for these two teams, it is in the rear-view mirror. So all of the adjustments and the breaking in new players and all those types of things takes on a new meaning as conference play has arrived.
There you see the 8th all-time meeting between these two schools, with Western Kentucky having the 5-2 series edge. Taking a look at the standings in Conference USA after regular season play has come and gone. That's the way it looks. Now, that has no bearing on conference play, but that's how teams have gotten out of the box here this season.
Yeah, Western Kentucky off to a really solid start, especially considering that 3 of their losses were by less than 10 points, including a 10-point loss against Vanderbilt and a 6-point overtime loss against South Florida, then a heartbreaking 1-point loss last time out against Tulsa. Jacksonville State, Eli, been a little bit more of a roller coaster ride, but the Gamecocks are coming off their best win of the season several days ago against East Tennessee State.
Right, they won 81-75 against ETSU in Johnson City. Now, one of the reasons for Western Kentucky's outstanding start is number 30, Keegan Moore, a young man from Dry Ridge, Kentucky, who has picked up a great scoring touch, 10 points or better in 10 of their 11 games this season.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He has really been the key catalyst for their 7-4 non-conference start, averaging 17.4, 5.6 rebounds. You mentioned he's been a double-double machine in the first 11 games of the season.
Now you add to him the fact that you've got other guys who have been playing very, very well, and they have gotten off to a great start. That includes Armello Boone, who has 4 times been Conference USA Freshman of the Week. So it's a talented ball club that comes in from Bowling Green, Kentucky here today. The officials, Bharat Ramnanan is the referee, with Blake Harris and Michael Usted working alongside. Jack State is in the white. Western Kentucky is in the red. And we're underway with man-to-man coverage defensively by Jack State. Trying to drive the right side, a kick out to the perimeter, and the shot doesn't go for Grant Newell, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it'll remain Western Kentucky ball. Newell had 28 points in their last game against Tulsa. Outside, driving the paint with a head fake and a little layup try. Keegan Moore, who we featured, doesn't get the points, and the rebound comes off to Jack State.
And rebounding obviously will be something Jack State wants to get off to a good start in that category. They've got, I guess you would call their small lineup out there to start the game. They've got much more height that'll be coming off the bench.
Ball turned over out of the hands of Mustafa, and it's taken outside, and a penetrating move with a little layup by Newell, and that gives the early lead to Western Kentucky, 2-0.
Newell, he is a big player. I mean, he's 6'9", a big, strong, wide body. Then when you throw in the fact you got Noah Boyd, they got 2 big guys out there to go up against this small Jack State lineup.
Boyd is 7 feet tall, and right there he is given a seat by Anabatarte. Boyd, 7 foot tall, 245 pounds, and he will wander to the free throw line.
And there you see the move and the aggressive play there. Newell, this is what this team likes to do, Eli. They're one of the top teams in the country in getting to the line and making their free throws, and they like to get downhill and attack the basket, and it didn't take Jack State long to get one of their big guys off the bench.
Right, here comes Anabatarte to the sidelines, and Niagu checks in. And now the free throw by Boyd is up and good. So a 3-point lead for Western Kentucky. Just underway. We're 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Glad you're with us on this Monday night conference opener for both of these two teams. Looking for an opening to drive. Fitzgerald outside on the perimeter. And there's Mustafa.
And that is a great start for Mo to hit his three. You see the defender kind of laying off of him, daring him to shoot, not wanting him to attack the basket, and Mustafa making him pay, knocking down his first three.
He has 11 of 32 from Treyland already this season. Last year at Louisiana, he was 0 for 7 in 838 minutes, 33 games. He was 0 for 7. Tonight he's 1 of 2. Russell, Newell. Here's Myers. He's a long way from home. He's a Brooklyn, New York fella. Bounce inside. And the big 7-footer is on the floor, and he got fouled before the ball was tied up. Looked as though A.C. Bryant hit him before the steal, or before the ball was tied up, more appropriately put. It'll be his first. Here's Moore now. Teagan looks things over. Couple of dribbles inside and the feed outside. Knocked out of bounds. And the ball will go to Jack State. 3-3 ball game.
You can see Ryan Myers basically staying right, joined at the hip with A.C. Bryant. They've been face guarding him early in the game. Of course, Bryant had the huge game for Jack State last time out.
Little floater in close by Myers, no good. Rebound Mustafa, who obviously had the big size mismatch. And here goes Mo, knocked out of his hands. Turnover on JSU. Newell, right side. Doesn't go for Myers, and it deflects out of bounds off Jack State, so it remains Western Kentucky ball. Western 7-4 on the year. This is their conference opener. They have missed their last 4 shots on the floor, and there's a inbounding foul. They call it on Ryan Myers.
You know, this is kind of a tricky game on the schedule for me. I mean, both these teams have had the extended layoffs with Christmas right in the middle of that 9-10 day break. Jack State, as we mentioned, coming off their best win of the season. Western Kentucky coming off a heartbreaking loss. So
they lost by a point.
Very important game for both these teams.
Shot doesn't go. Rebound cleared off the window by Boone. Up on the left side, Newell's shot no good. Rebound and a foul. Keita pulled down the rebound. Blaze Keita, number 1. And the foul on the Gamecocks.
Yeah, that was a tough matchup for Mustafa, trying to box out the 6'11" Keita.
A lot of substitutions now, both teams. And Mustafa taking a breather. And Myers sits for the Hilltoppers.
And Erkins Ford off the bench for Jack State, so that gives Ford and Niagu getting them on the floor together. And Eli, I think Coach Harper is going to be forced to do that a lot tonight with the height and the length that Western Kentucky brings to the floor.
Nash. Jay had all those assists, you remember, against South Alabama. He had 12 assists in that ball game. Outside pass deflects to the perimeter. And there's a three for Jacoby Hill. Jacoby gives the Gamecocks their 2-point lead. Running the floor, Jack State.
Love the fact that Jacoby didn't hesitate on that three. We've seen him hesitate a lot of times when he's had opportunities to shoot. He didn't that time.
Here's a cross-court feed back into the corner. Great ball movement, but 5 on the shot clock, and that'll take care of that. Amandrick Erkins-Ford with a tray. And the Gamecocks are up by 6.
Only his 9th three-point attempt of the season, but he's 3 of 9. Not bad for the big fella stepping out and hitting the three.
They're up by 5. I misstated, knowing my problems with mathematics over the years. 9 and 4 is 5-point deficit. Here now the bounce. Erkins-Ford throws it out towards mid-floor, and it's saved neatly. Long-range tray, count it. Jay Nash. He's coming up with some points tonight to go with all of his assists. A tray.
2 threes by 2 guys who haven't shot many. We mentioned that was only the 9th attempted three by Erkins-Ford. That's only the 12th attempted three by Jay Nash.
Not to mention Mustafa, who got a tray earlier in the ball game. And for him, it was his 11th of the year on 32 tries. And we've got timeout. Timeout with 13:57 remaining in the half. Gamecocks with sharp shooting out to the early lead. Well, a 12-1 run, a 9-0 run. It all adds up to a 12-4 lead for Jack State.
And you don't see this often, but all 6 of Jack State's shots so far have been from behind the three-point line, and they've made 4 of them now. Obviously, that hot streak won't continue all night, but it is nice to see the Gamecocks hitting the outside shot. They shot the ball so well in that win 9 days ago at East Tennessee State, their best shooting game of the season, and they were hoping it would carry over into the friendly confines of the Pete, and so far so good.
It really has carried over into a building where the Gamecocks in 7 years are 60-30 here at home. And there's the whistle as the play goes towards the basket. Ryan Myers guilty of the personal foul. It'll be his first. At the line for the Gamecocks will be Jacoby Hill, and there you see the reason why.
And I like the fact that the Gamecocks ran some action toward the true freshman. He's got the three-pointer he hit a moment ago. Jacoby Hill, again, was playing high school basketball a season ago, but he has started a number of games in the non-conference portion of Jack State's schedule. And Coach Harper knows if the Gamecocks are going to make an impact in conference play, they're going to need some production out of their true freshman. They believe he's got the ability, but as obviously, Eli, with freshmen, you're dealing with confidence levels and things of that nature, but Jacoby Hill has a tremendous high upside.
A 10-point lead remains that off the miss by Cade Unseld, and the rebound to Mustafa. Mustafa Mutau Akil. Erkins-Ford. Turnaround, 2 more. And that's going to bring about a timeout for Western Kentucky. It will be their first as they want to talk things over. They've got to shore up the defense. And it's going to be a timeout taken by the Hilltoppers. And if you're curious, yes, their university is on top of a hill in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And that's where the nickname came from originally, the Hilltoppers. Bowling Green, Kentucky, the home of the Corvette. They are built at a beautiful plant there in Bowling Green.
And I like the previous play for Erkins Ford. You know, one of the things Jack State, Eli, they're still trying to do is figure out how some of these pieces are fitting together. It's
still early.
It's still early,
yeah.
And you saw the non-conference record 5-6. Again, it's been an up and down season so far. However, there are things that the Gamecocks have done. We've seen Jacoby Hill a little more active in the half court, Erkins Ford with a 3, and then they go at him down low. He's got much more ability to score on the offensive end, and the Gamecocks are going to need him to do that, and they obviously need him tonight against the height of this Western Kentucky team.
Great block inside by Erkins Ford, and a foul on Western going the other way. It'll be Armello Boone, the 4-time Conference USA Freshman of the Week. He picks up his first personal foul. Armello Boone averaging 12 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 2.1 assists this season.
There are some really good freshmen in the league this year, but I don't know if anybody has gotten off to a better start than Boone.
Here's Erkins Ford. Drops it out to Hill. Mustafa drives in, spins, knocked out of his hands. 7 on the shot clock. 5, 4. Mustafa for 2. Gamecocks on a 15-0 run.
Mustafa just asking for the defender to guard him that time. Grant Newell kind of took the bait, came out and got a little close to Mustafa, and he took advantage and drove downhill, which is his game.
Hafner leaves it off for Keita. Long-range trade try, no good. Loose ball returned out onto the perimeter, and there's a 3 from Cam Hafner that ends a long scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes. Hafner, he transferred in from Evansville. Now the Gamecocks try to drive the paint, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Western. And there's a timeout taken now with 11:32 remaining in the half. 18-7. We are back. What you don't see are the officials. There they are, looking at the video replay to see whether the shot clock should be reset or not. It's an 11 seconds showing on the shot clock right now. Jack State wants them to totally reset the shot clock. So the officiating crew, the gentleman with his back to us, that's Bharat Ramnanan, joined by Blake Harris and Michael Husted. And here comes the word from the officials. Okay. The ball is going to belong to Western. They will lose a challenge. And here we go with Boone bringing the play up the floor. Mustafa. You know, if they shoot like that, it's not going to matter what they do.
And if Mustafa and his teammates, Eli, block out like he just did, that's even better, because they, again, Jack State going with a little bit of a smaller lineup here against this height from Western Kentucky. But they're holding their own in the rebounding department. Actually, they have an advantage in that area so far in the game.
There's Nash making it a 17-3 run over the last 4 minutes, nearly 5 minutes. 13-point lead. The largest has been 14, and it's out of bounds off L.J. Hackman, the transfer from Jones College in Mississippi. Ball belongs to Jack State. Mustafa El Mutauakil, the transfer from Louisiana. He averaged 20 points a game as a sophomore. And the foul inside. That's going to be Grant Newell committing the personal. It'll be his first, sending Mustafa to the line.
Take a look at this. Look at Newell just kind of extending that right arm. I tell you, he is a strong player, and wasn't anything, you know, across the line. It's just he got his money's worth on that foul.
Those 33 points against Coastal Carolina. And Mustafa with a couple. So that would make it a 19-3 run in the last 5 minutes and 17 seconds.
I think Coach Harper sensing that his team's defensive pressure is causing the Hilltoppers some problems, so extending it to a full court press to kind of keep the heat on Western Kentucky.
It's interesting in light of how difficult the non-conference schedule was for Western. There's the ball that goes out of bounds off Mustafa. In the non-conference, they beat UAB, talking about Western Kentucky. They lost to Vanderbilt. That was down in the Bahamas. They lost to South Florida in the Bahamas. They beat Wichita State. They beat Evansville. They lost to Marshall, but they played a tough schedule in the non-conference. Unseld out on the perimeter to Myers, and it goes awry, and the rebound taken by Jack State.
What an incredible box out by Jay Nash. I don't know if our viewers could see that, but Jack State has done an incredible job here in the first half of this first half in really making a commitment to boxing out and trying to limit Western Kentucky to one shot.
There, Mustafa has it slapped out of his hands while he too got slapped. Here's no foul. Ball up the floor. Unseld. No good. Shoots like Wes Unseld from the perimeter. No relation, by the way. We checked.
He was a good one. He and the Big E, Elvin Hayes.
Yep, Wesley Unseld. Played with the Bullets, as they were known then. Here's Hill. Two more and a foul. Two more and a foul. Jacoby Hill.
You know, it's amazing to watch Hill's development through the non-conference schedule and the way he's played here in the first half of this, his first ever Conference USA matchup. Jacoby Hill, nice game here in the first half.
Ryan Myers with the personal, his second. And look at all the schools who wanted him, and he ended up coming to Jack State, Alabama. 25-7. Into the paint. Nice D, but they're going to call Erkins Ford on a foul inside.
Coach Harper telling his player, great job, great effort. Just keep the hands straight up in the air and you won't get the call. Watch Erkins Ford's arms come down right there. You're going to get the foul every time if you bring the arm down.
And the free throw for Tegan Moore. Again, we showed you that graphic in the opening of our telecast. And Moore, only 1 point today. A guy who is averaging on the season 17.4 and has scored 10 or more in 10 of the 11 games.
Gamecocks have definitely done a good job so far here in the first half in limiting his ability to get comfortable on the offensive end.
There's an air ball by Mustafa, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Western Kentucky bringing it the other way.
You know, Mustafa, Jack State's leading scorer, the challenge he has, and he's going to face it every night out in this league, is when to shoot the three and when not to. He's not a great three-point shooter, but you've got to shoot enough of them for teams to respect you and defend you out that high.
There's Myers from Christ the King High School in Brooklyn, New York. And a timeout is being taken right here. .754 time remaining in the half. 25-11. Jack State over Western Kentucky. We continue from Jacksonville after this. Welcome back, everybody. If you're keeping score at home along with us, just to mention here that despite their efforts to call a timeout, that last timeout was taken by the officials as the clock was inside of 8 minutes. So Western Kentucky did not get charged a timeout. They have taken one here today. They have not been charged with a second. Here's Bryant now. He's in. Fitzgerald. Niagu. Long range tray. It rings the bell. I thought it was going to be short, but he made the range. A.C. Bryant did.
And that was a called half-court play to get Bryant a shot. That's his first shot attempt of the game, and that is not an easy shot. To come off that low action and come up high and be able to turn and face the basket and knock it down is a big shot.
There's a bucket for Western as they get the layup from Tegan Moore. Bryant off a screen by Niago, tries another tray. No good. Mustafa with the rebound, knocked out of his hands, and it's going to be Jack State ball despite the protests by the player Grant Newell, who said, "I had it." And then it was just thrown out by Jack State, but the officials said no. Gamecocks inbound it. You see the time remaining, bottom of your screen. We're in the first half. In the paint, the dish. Out to Fitzgerald. Got it. Nice touch for Marcus.
Nice decision there by Fitzgerald. He received the ball out beyond the three-point line, dribbled in, got a little closer. Nice mid-range shooter's touch.
He had 6 points the other day against East Tennessee. Now to the paint and knocked away by Niago after all sorts of work by Boone to get somewhat free for the shot.
I was thinking the same thing. Boone, I think, threw every move he had in his repertoire to try to get that over Slaw, but just too much length there for Niago.
Inside the bounce pass. No, the putback by Newell is good for two. Nicely done on the bounce pass, and Newell was on the spot to convert.
And as much as they've struggled shooting the ball here, only 21% from the field. That's something Western Kentucky could benefit from, as some offensive rebounds and some easy putbacks. They're not getting much production in any category, including their bench has been a big contributor for them this season. Very few bench points here in the first half.
They are averaging 37.6 bench points per game. That's 12th in America, and far and away leads Conference USA. But you're right, they're not getting that here tonight. Fitzgerald says play number one. Unloads it to Niago, returns it. Mustafa tries to reverse the layup. It's knocked away. Brought up the floor by Myers. Myers Left side, long range tray. It's no good. Niago can't get the rebound. It came down off whose foot? It'll be, well, now they're going to discuss that. It's going the other way, says the official.
Yeah, the Western Kentucky bench not happy about the call. It looked as though that ball might have gone off Niagu's leg because of Boone's pressure, but they award the ball to Jacksonville State.
And now they're going to take a look at the video. When he brought it down, it definitely took an odd bounce, as though the ball went off somebody's foot. And we'll see what the officials say here. Glad you're with us on this Monday night. Eli Gold, Mickey Shadracks, and our ESPN Plus crew. Next up for Jack State, they'll play January 2nd at the Blue Hens of Delaware. Then they'll continue the road trip on the 4th of January to Lynchburg, Virginia, to play Liberty College, before returning home on the 7th of January against Florida International.
And here's I think you're going to see the ball go off Niagu's leg there.
Yeah.
I think that's what the officials are going to wind up coming back with after they review, and we'll get another look here. And
looked like he kicked it out of bounds.
Maybe
you see Moore here. You see Tegan Moore, number 30 in red. He immediately points that way. It's going to be red ball, he said, and that's going to be Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers go home after this game and play against Sam Houston on January 2nd. Then Louisiana Tech on January 4th. If you're in that area, tickets are available at the WKU ticket office for the game at the EA Diddle Arena. It's a great basketball building. Red towel country, as they call it. Here's the inbound and the putback. No. Follow up by the 7-footer. He's fouled by Anabatur. Aitor Anabatarte committing the foul on Boyd.
And that gets Niagu right back in the game. Short break for the 7-footer. Niagu, as Coach Harper again is just having to keep his big guys in the game, because you don't want to let Western Kentucky chip away at this lead with offensive rebounding, and they've done a good job of that here in their last couple of trips, getting offensive boards. They do it again here.
Great block there by Niago, and here comes, oh, he spins and steps out of bounds, says the official. Right there on the bottom of your screen, Bharat Ramnanan, the referee. He was right there staring at it. He said, you stepped out of bounds.
Western Kentucky has out-rebounded Jack State on the offensive glass 10-1. That is why they are as close as they are.
Exactly. And it's still 30-17. And there's a whistle underneath and a turnover. Gamecock substitution. Jay Nash will check into the lineup. Fitzgerald leaves. A.C. Bryant is in.
And drawing a lot of attention wherever he goes.
Yes, exactly. Niago couldn't get that pass. He got free. They couldn't get it to him. A couple of 7-footers tangling in the middle there. And there's a foul. That time Erkins Ford was slapped down by the 7-footer.
Here's another look at it, and nice job using his body, good leverage down low. He had an advantage against the smaller Boone. Help came over. I tell you, you better buckle your chin strap if you're going to go up against these guys, but good job by Erkins Ford to get to the line again.
Yeah, Noah Boyd commits the foul, and Erkins Ford will commit and make the first shot. Gamecocks 6 of 6 at the charity stripe tonight.
And if you follow Jack State basketball, that is a nice stat to hear.
Yes,
with the free throw troubles that Jack State's had in the non-conference part of their schedule.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a couple of Jack State losses you could pin on free throw shooting.
Yeah, good point. Hilltoppers only 43% from the charity stripe, 3 of 7. Moore. Hepner. Around inside. Shot doesn't go off Moore. It's recovered and thrown into the backcourt, but it was touched by the Gamecocks. Play continues. And there's Erkins Ford flying in as though he were a member of the Flying Farfans of Christmas circus fame.
And it took that to keep Western Kentucky from getting another offensive rebound.
Backdoor feed, and there's a shot that's missed. And you see, there's a time where you don't have to block it. You just have to interfere enough to break up the concentration. We've got timeout. Don't go away. It's the conference opener tonight on ESPN+. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you found a place to park your car. 3:04 time remaining, opening half here in Jacksonville. So far, 18-point lead, the largest for JSU. A 3-point lead, the largest for Western Kentucky. Feed on the wing. They try to get it to Myers, but he was covered up. Now he's long range loose, and Armello Boone, the conference freshman of the week repeatedly this year, makes the basket go. And look at that, a beautiful over the head reverse layup with English. It's taken. Mustafa, left side, all alone again. He hadn't even cleared the zone, and the shot by Nash no good, and it's out of bounds to Western. But Nash nearly cashing in off that made basket, and he tumbled and went out of bounds, and he never got out of the zone, and here came the ball again.
Very athletic is Jay Nash. Not surprised to see him able to make that move. We just haven't seen him attempt that type of shot much this season.
Erkins Moore. Or Erkins Ford, excuse me. I wonder who Erkins Moore is. Might have been his neighbor.
Well, I tell you what, the way Erkins Ford is playing, you want more of him.
Yes, you do. Well done.
He has really provided this team a spark off the bench tonight.
Emondrick Erkins Ford, the East Florida State College transfer.
I mean, he is one of the reasons Jack State is sitting pretty here late in this first half. Game a long way from being over, but he has been a spark off the bench, no question.
A 15-point lead. The largest has been 18. And Erkins Ford playing one of his more spirited games of the year. Shot no good. Rebound taken by the Hilltoppers. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the half. And Erkins Ford is on top of it. The arrow is in Jack State's favor.
And again, Jack State having to battle the Hilltoppers on every rebound. They have been relentless on the glass. As I mentioned earlier, they're plus 11 in offensive rebounds, and really 8 of their points are second chance points, which are essentially offensive rebounds, and only 20 points so far, 8 of those being basically off the offensive glass.
And tonight, bench points 15-7 in favor of Jack State, which is a total reversal of the regular season. Erkins Ford, no good off the window.
Coach Harper thought his Erkins Ford was fouled that time. Wanted to whistle, didn't get it. Still talking to the official about it.
Speaking of officials, got to offer condolences. I don't know if you remember Tom Lopes. Tom Lopes was a longtime basketball official, worked all the major conferences, worked the big tournaments and so on. Tom passed away the other day after a lengthy illness, and just wanted to mention that. Not that we know Tom's family, I don't, but I've known him for years. Hated to see that.
Well, I always get a kick out of it before every game that we do. I'd love to see the officials come out. They all know Eli Gold.
Well, I've been around a while. I guess that's what it is. But, yeah, Tom was a great, great guy, and passed away the other day. Here now, Bryant. And it's going to be a blocking foul. Bryant just decided to penetrate through. That's going to be the second on, the first on Tegan Moore, putting the Gamecocks in the bonus.
It's a tough game for Bryant. You know, he's coming off that 29-point outing.
Yeah.
Last time Jack State played at East Tennessee State. He hasn't had that many opportunities tonight because Western Kentucky is denying him the ball. They're basically face guarding him in the half court. So it's one of those games AC is going to have to be patient and wait on his opportunities and not press too much, and he hasn't done that so far. He
had 29 points and 1 rebound, and that wasn't his career high. He had 39 against Jackson State in a previous life at Alabama A&M. And there's a whistle on the penetration to the basket to our left.
Tough call there to go against the Gamecocks. Coach Harper felt like the contact, if there was any contact, he felt like it was initiated by Elon.
Jack Edlin, a Louisville native. He's got a good shot. We were watching him in the pregame, and he was nailing them from everywhere. Here's Mustafa now to the window, found an opening.
That's really the only time here. He's been effective in the first half, but that's the first time he's been able to get downhill and finish. Nice little pump fake at the end.
Yeah, you see the time remaining. We're down to the nitty-gritty in the half. Long range tray, no good. Gamecocks have it for the last shot. Meanwhile, Western has made just one of their last 8. Erkins Ford, no, and the half comes to a close, 38-22. So a 16-point lead. That's going to be just a couple points shy of their largest lead of the ball game.
Yeah, solid first half for Jack State. They started off red hot. They made 4 of their first 6 shots. They were all threes. Really didn't cool off much the rest of the way, Eli. Gamecocks sitting at 54% at halftime.
We've got stats coming up, and then a look at some of the big basketball plays of the past week from Conference USA. That's coming up next as we continue from Jacksonville, Alabama. Welcome back, everybody. The Pete is what they call it, the Pete Matthews Coliseum here on the campus of Jack State University. Eli Gold and Mickey Shadricks with you on the call. And a big thank you to our brethren around Conference USA for those halftime highlights. Sam Houston and La Tech and UTEP and Liberty and those who contributed. We appreciate that. 38-22, the lead here at the half for the Gamecocks. They led by as many as 18 in the first half, while Western Kentucky led by 3 early.
And we mentioned their shooting woes in the first half of the game. You look at their 3 leading scorers in Tegan Moore and Grant Newell and Armello Boone have combined to score 10 points here in the first half. Obviously, for Western Kentucky, if they're going to get back in this game, that script has to flip. Jack State, meanwhile, you know, you wonder, can the Gamecocks continue to shoot it the way they've shot it in for the second half? 54.5% shooting in the first half for Jack State.
Ryan Myers, the other guy in this building from Brooklyn, getting set to inbound it directly in front of us. Get out of here.
Skedaddle.
Skedaddle, yeah.
You're blocking our view, right?
Mm-hmm. Down in front. Around the horn, here's Myers. Fall away, short. Rebound, Hackman. Looking for an opening is Moore. Myers again, short. Niagu takes the rebound, and here come the Gamecocks going the other way. They had a couple 3 opportunities, just couldn't find the range. They're shooting 18% now. The Hilltoppers are. Niagu against Leroy Odiahi. He is a 6'11" big guy, and out of bounds it goes. And it'll be Western Kentucky to inbound. That was the first time we saw Leroy Odiahi. He's a transfer from Old Dominion. He played on the Irish junior national team, Odiahi is. Inside, and there's the jam by Odiahi.
Yeah, great 2-man action there between Boone, the true freshman Boone, and Odiahi, and that was a nice half-court set. And get the ball down low and inside. That is a good prescription for Western Kentucky's problems here in this game. If you can't knock it down from the outside, get the ball inside.
14-point lead. Down goes the ball carrier, A.C. Bryant. It's taken and flown the other way and laid in. Nicely done by Armello Boone.
And that's really the first time we've seen Western Kentucky basketball, honestly, in this game. That was a great transition play there, and Boone with a strong finish after making the great assist on the previous possession.
Second foul on Grant Newell. He's from North Texas and Cal Berkeley.
You know, this Western Kentucky team is not going to go quietly. They are going to play much harder here in the second half, and they're going to bring it to Jacksonville State, and a pretty good start here for them in the first couple of minutes.
Mustafa makes the play in midair. Oh my, how about that? A.C. Bryant from halfway to Birmingham made that one go down.
And what a luxury when you have a 3-point shooter like Bryant, who really is always in range once he crosses half court. Shot clock going down, and he knocks down the big 3.
And the other way, it's Armello Boone doing the same. And there come the Gamecocks right back. A basket for AC and the foul.
A.C. Bryant's got to be thinking, hey, I didn't get many opportunities in the first half. The first 20 minutes I was face guarded the entire time, and here he's got a 3 and a breakaway basket. He's pretty pumped right now.
Into the forecourt, Boone.
You can already tell both teams have ratcheted up the intensity here.
They have, big time. Coach Plona, the head coach for Western Kentucky, was afraid his team was going to get run out of the gym. And Coach Harper was afraid his team was going to let the other team back in the ball game. Bryant for three, got it. A.C. Bryant. He had 8 trays against South Alabama, and he's gotten hot again here tonight.
Yeah, he's got 8 points in the first 3+ minutes of this second half. It's been a great counterpunch to what Western Kentucky has come out with.
And there's an air ball by Boone and a loose ball. There's a foul on the floor. Tegan Moore is helped to his feet.
Here's another look at the foul.
Looking for an opening, driving in, trying to pivot without moving his trailing foot. And that was tough to do right there. Here's Nash. Watched by Hackman. Up the floor. Moore. Hackman. No, out of bounds. It'll be JSU. No, I should say it'll be Western Kentucky's ball. Substitutions. Marcus Fitzgerald is in for Jay Nash. Moore sits down, and Cam Hafner enters the ball game. The Eastern Illinois transfer. Hackman with 18 on the shot clock. And there's a double dribble. A double dribble. You don't see that called all that often. But it was a clear double dribble. And this is also a clear timeout. Timeout here in Jacksonville. 46-31. The home team on top. There's Cocky helping get the crowd going here. The 107th year of Western Kentucky basketball. They have 1,918 wins. That is the 18th most in all of college basketball. Where were you sitting on that opening night for the Hilltoppers? Back in 107 years ago, Mickey.
I wasn't sitting anywhere.
Were you not?
No.
Okay, just checking. I know you've been around for a long time.
Yeah, I was just too young to remember where I was
there
sitting.
you go. Good answer. The officials conferring just a bit, and I think there was a problem with the game clock. Yes. Well, now there's even a bigger problem. It says 1:55. So the game clock did not start when the play began. The officials made them reset it, and it came up 1:55. There we go. 15:52 will be correct. Or so.
That's a veteran group over there. They'll get it straightened out.
It will. Erkins Ford. Watched closely here by Edlin. Oh my. Physical game. Nash had the ball, or excuse me, Hill had the ball knocked out of his hands. Here it's underhanded on the right perimeter. Reaching in, elbow thrown out of bounds. It'll be Western ball.
Hilltoppers threw a little zone full court press against Jack State that time and able to come up with the steal.
Threw a little elbow too.
It has been a physical game.
It has been. If I didn't know the sport, I would expect to see Gordie Howe get out here any time now.
That's a good comment.
With his sharpened elbows. There's a tray off the long side.
And the made basket, of course, enables Western Kentucky to set up this 2-2-1 zone press.
And there's a whistle. Second team foul. Second on Armello Boone. There's the head coach, Hank Plona. Second year at Western. Most recently an assistant at Providence. And a lot of success elsewhere. Providence, Arkansas Fort Smith, Indian Hills Community College, Southern Plains College, and now at Western Kentucky. And those trays will sit anybody down in a hurry.
AC Bryant, another deep three. His coach didn't like the taunting there after the shot. Coach Harper kind of chased him back down the floor.
Yep. He's 4 of 6 in trays today. And there's a foul that they're going to call as Moore goes up to play the basketball. And Erkins Ford is going to be hit with his second personal foul. Watch it again.
I tell you, though, that is good defense by Ford. If you remember in the first half, he picked up a foul because he came down with his arms, and Coach Harper really coached him up about it. And that's the second time already here in the second half where Erkins Ford has been challenged down low and kept his arm straight up. Didn't get a foul last time, did get the call there, but that was still excellent defense. And Eli, when you look at this thing, where would Jack State be, or where would this game be without AC Bryant? He only had 4 points at halftime. He's got 11 points here so far in the second half. Western Kentucky's got to be thinking, what else? We got to, if we stop number 0, we can get back in this game.
Yeah, could be. He's 5 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 6 from Treyland, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and for good measure, 4 rebounds. There's a roll in, count it, and a foul. What an effort right there. And boy, the coach is even celebrating that one.
Couldn't say it any better than you just said it, Eli. Takes a shot there, and Mustafa just battles through the contact and knocks the shot down and gets a chance at the free throw line. And you're right, Coach Harper loved the play from Mustafa that time.
Odiahi sits. Boone returns.
Again, the physicality of this game is really ratcheted up here in the second half.
And there's Mustafa with the three-point play. He's got 12 points, Mustafa does. Edlin alone for 3 on the far side. Armello Boone. Nobody picked him up. And the 4-time Conference USA Player of the Week for freshmen makes the Gamecocks pay.
Yeah, you mentioned Boone's efforts here in the second half. He's put his team on his back as he's now up to 13 points here in the game. And how about Mustafa, aggressive again on the offensive end?
Playing awfully well, Mustafa is. He has 12 points tonight, 33 against Coastal Carolina, now 13. And here come more substitutions for both teams. The big story tonight, Gamecocks shooting 61% to the Hilltoppers 28%.
Their shooting percentage has actually gone up here in the first 6.5 minutes of the second half, which almost seemed impossible after they shot 54.5% in the first half.
3-point shooting, the Gamecocks 57% to the Hilltoppers 25%. And the Hilltoppers just hurting themselves now.
Yeah, that was a foul, another foul against Boone. It's just getting a little too physical there in the backcourt, maybe a frustration foul.
Armello takes note of that as he records his third. Mustafa around the D, goes down, dishes to Erkins Ford. To the baseline. Nash. Shot clock at 3. Ooh. And they're going to call that on Western Kentucky.
Erkins Ford with the outstanding box out against the much taller Blaze Cada.
Yeah.
And that's what the official called. Cada thought he got the rebound cleanly, but you'll see the replay here. Watch Erkins Ford there underneath, boxing out and drawing the foul.
And Cada from the Republic of Mali. And there's an out of bounds. Standing out of bounds was A.C. Bryant, and the turnover.
Yeah, Coach Harper's on the floor telling him, you know, against this 2-2-1 zone press, you do not want to dribble to the sideline there and basically put yourself in a trap situation, and that is what Bryant did.
11-8 the turnovers now. The Gamecocks had 11.
So you've got some great individual matchups in this game. You got both teams freshmen. Boone and Jacoby Hill have been matched up all game, and Mustafa has drawn the defensive assignment a lot tonight against Tegan Moore. He's not on him now, but those have been some great one-on-one matchups. I guess the game inside the game, if you will.
And finally, Western has more points now than Jack State had at halftime. Mutauakil. Taking their time. Jay Nash feeds the perimeter. Back to Mustafa, who gets a massage. The foul will be on Armello Boone again. And that's going to put him on the bench with 4 fouls. So 12 points on average. He's going to be gone for a while when we come back. One of the reasons Western Kentucky is not playing up to their norm is because you can't use a scooter in a regular season game, and that is Bryant Silabonge, the young man from Montreal who has a torn Achilles, and he is out for the season now. They've also lost Louis Simona with a back injury. Take away those two, and you've ripped a good one for Silabonge is their best freshman, excuse me, their best big guy, and Simona is an outstanding ball player. So that's something that Coach Plona has had to work through, as Mustafa puts up a rainmaker, doesn't do anything. Not even a drizzle.
You know, the bench points for the Hilltoppers is beginning to inch up. They're up to 24 points off the bench.
Yeah.
Much better than the 9 they had at halftime. They, again, you've mentioned a couple of times they averaged 37 points off the bench. Much better bench production here in the second half.
Fall away, no good. Rebound taken by the Hilltoppers. Turned back by Keita, can't do it. Outside long range, it's no good by Hackman. And it's taken by Jack State. As we are halfway through this second half.
Keita is a beast.
He is.
Difficult to keep off the offensive glass.
But that AC Bryant action is what you talked about earlier. He's got 18 points now and just continues to be deadly from Treyland.
And 14 of those 18 in the second half. Again, without AC Bryant's offensive outburst here, Western Kentucky would be much closer than they are.
There was an overhand layup by Cam Hafner. Nicely done. Gamecocks, Hill, Jacoby. Taking a little time now off the clock. Granted, double teamed. And there's a foul called on Western. Who are they going to call it on?
I don't think Coach Harper wants Erkins Ford to just stand there and hold the ball and let the double team come that easily.
Tegan Moore picks up the personal foul. And now substitutions as Erkins Ford goes to the line for JSU. Gamecocks picked 7th in the preseason in Conference USA, and based on the regular season, that's where they are right now. But again, you can't correlate one with the other. Erkins Ford averaged 15.6 points a game at Eastern Florida State College before coming here to Jacksonville. Niagu has it knocked out of his hands. Long range left side. Unseld. Ball is loose. High flip over Niagu, but it finds the range.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Elon. I don't even think he saw the ball go in.
No.
Niagu totally blocked him out, but a nice touch on that basket.
And there's the foul on Moore again. It'll be his third now. A blocking foul on Tegan Moore. Head coach Hank Plona.
His team has had to commit a lot of fouls to work their way back, try to get back in this game. They're already up to 9 team fouls here with 9:29 to go.
Yep.
Gamecocks are going to have some free throw opportunities here the rest of the way.
And as a team, the Gamecocks are a 64% shooting team, but obviously some guys are significantly higher than that. 71% for the man just there at the line, Jacoby Hill. Back to a 15-point lead. They have led by as many as 18. Western is led by 3. They did that early. Myers cuts inside. The basketball goes outside, and Niagu with a reach in, and they're going to call him on the personal. I didn't see that.
Well, that's a tough call. Niagu is literally just standing his ground, and Moore initiates the move here, and that's just a tough call against the Gamecocks. Coach Harper over talking to the official who made the call. Obviously not going to win the argument, but he's stating his case.
The coach is leaning on the scorer's table. He's just frustrated.
He was looking for a travel. He thought it should have been a turnover, a travel called against Tegan Moore instead of a foul against his player that was just standing his ground.
Yep.
Maybe that'll get more going for Western Kentucky. He has been very quiet in this game.
Moore has 5 points, averaging 17.4. He's held to 4 points tonight. Gamecocks on the give and go inside. Taking a stumble is Bryant, and the ball goes out of bounds. Off of Bryant. Coach Harper beside himself on that call.
Yeah, he feels like he can't catch a break here. He's definitely working over any official that will listen to him right now.
Meanwhile, Gamecocks have hit 6 of their last 8 field goals. So their percentage is 59% to 30% for Western. And there the ball goes out of bounds, and they go call a foul on JSU.
That was a nice job by Tegan Moore that time, just using his strength to maneuver his way down low and drawing the foul.
Still talking to the officials. Coach Harper, as Mustafa El Mutuwakil picks up his second personal. LJ Hackman comes in, replacing Armello Boone, who sits with 3 personal fouls. Rebound Mustafa. The give and go to Nash. Mustafa dribbles it off his foot and off the foot of the defender, and it'll go out of bounds. They're going to look at it and call it Jack State ball when play resumes. We have a timeout. 7:59 to go in the ball game. 13-point lead for the home team. Folks, you can get all of ESPN college basketball all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock it with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Hey, what better opportunity to hear from Mickey Shadrack's 3 times a week.
Especially for the next couple of months, right?
Yes, exactly.
Exciting time of year, not only for players and teams as conference play gets underway, but fans and folks like us who get to sit here and watch it.
Exactly. They looked at the replay. The ball went out off the Gamecocks. So that's why the inbound goes to the Hilltoppers, and they convert the basket, making an 11-point ball game with 7.5 remaining. Gamecocks have led early and often. They led by as many as 18. Jacoby Hill. Outside, Mustafa found Nash. Shot clock violation. Yep. You saw that coming, or we did.
Yeah.
The players didn't.
Bad possession for the Gamecocks. Just not much going in the half court. Give credit to Western Kentucky and their half court defense. But Jay Nash, not much of not the type of player that will go score off the dribble. So
yep.
That was caught Jack State in a bad situation there at the end of the shot clock.
Turnover 14 against JSU to 8 for Western. And there the ball is tied up. And they're going to say there was a foul on the Gamecocks. Mustafa El Mutuwakil.
You see the reach in there.
Yeah.
Grant Newell so strong and physical. Mustafa call for the foul.
And there's a foul on the floor on the Gamecocks.
And again, it's another one of those situations where a smaller Jack State player is trying to box out a much bigger Western Kentucky player. That time it was Jacoby Hill.
Yep.
Trying to box out Odai, who is 6'11".
Jacoby Hill, as you say, is 6'4". There's Mustafa with the rebound. Yeah, before the season's come and gone, you'll be hearing more from Western. They're not a bad ball club by any stretch. They got off to a slow start tonight, and the Gamecocks have just held it around 15 points of a lead for most of the evening. Right now it's 11 points.
And you know, they're trying to get it down to single digits. That's that psychological thing. If you can break through that double-digit lead,
yeah,
that's what they're trying to do.
Foul. It'll be on Leroy Odiahi. Going to be number 1 on Odiahi. And here's Niagu. 10 of 12 from the stripe this year. That's 83% if you don't have your abacus or calculator. Taking his seat is now Odiahi, the 6'11" grad student from Ireland. Niagu. He's played at Charlotte, played at Southern Cal, and now in Jacksonville. He's had quite the globe-trotting career. He was on the Russian junior national team. He played for the NBA Global Academy in Australia. He's been all over the place. Driving in, elbows and shoulders bump. No, rebound. Yes, Moore. Moore made the play after Boone couldn't convert. Erkins Ford now.
And it comes off another offensive rebound as Western Kentucky just killing Jack State on the offensive glass. 19-3 advantage in offensive rebounding.
Gamecocks have not scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes. It is now exactly 5 minutes since their last field goal. Bryant, oh, for him it came so tantalizingly close.
I tell you, teams have to be careful with AC Bryant, because if you come out too hard at the three-point line, as you see there on that play, he has the ability to get to the basket and score.
Yep.
And almost got that to fall with the offhand. Tried to finish with the right hand and just came up a little short.
And he gets the shooter's bounce for a point there. Cam Hafner takes a seat after that personal foul, his first. We have not seen Terrian Murdix tonight for Western. He has now missed 6 games in a row. Murdix has, with a right knee injury. It's probably the best point guard they've had since, what do you think, 2008, 2009, somewhere in that range, as Mustafa commits the personal foul. That'll be the 4th on the big guy. But yeah, so they are without Louis Simona with that back injury. Murdix, who is here and in uniform, but has not played with that right knee injury. And of course, Bryant Silabonge, who is here, but recovering this year with a torn Achilles. That really has handcuffed head coach Hank Blona.
And Coach Harper's going to be a little handcuffed in the half court for the next at least couple of minutes or so. Mustafa on the bench with those 4 fouls. That takes away your key half court option when you have the ball.
Edlin hits the first. He's got 5 points tonight.
You get the feeling if Jack State's going to hold on and win this conference opener at home, AC Bryant's going to have to bring him across the finish line, and he has done a heck of a job so far here in the second half.
A 10-point lead with 5 minutes and change to go. Nash drives on Edlin. Again drives on Edlin. Erkins Ford. Jacoby Hill. 8 on the shot clock. And there he takes a shot in the face. And Edlin says, he's holding me, he's holding me. And the official said, I don't care, I don't care.
And not a good foul by Western Kentucky. They had the shot clock under 10. They had the ball in Jay Nash's hands. That's exactly where they want to be. Instead, they commit the foul, and they put Jay Nash at the line. Obvious contact here made. Good call by the official.
And you see Edlin mimicking what he felt was the foul on him or against him. Free throw is good, and there's another one coming for Nash. A 4-star out of high school in Memphis, Tennessee. Nash went to Tulsa and then transferred to JSU. Shooting 31% is Western Kentucky tonight to the Gamecocks 56%. Outside for 3, no good. Rebound, JSU's A.C. Bryant to Nash. And they're going to use a little clock here. Shot clock down to 13. A spin move, baseline, puts it up for 2. A Mundrick Erkins Ford.
Well, Eli, that may be the play of the night.
Yes.
That was an incredible move by Erkins Ford to spin past the initial defender, then still had to shoot it over a much taller defender to get it to fall.
Trying to come back with a shot of their own. No, there's a foul on the floor. That one was before the shot, on the floor, and we have got timeout. Timeout being taken with 3:57 remaining. That personal foul on Erkins Ford, his 3rd, when we come back to Jacksonville. We are back. Gentleman in the red vest, that is our athletic director here at Jacksonville State, Greg Seitz. To his right in the black jacket, that is Charles Kelly, the head football coach. His team got to the bowl season and won their bowl game against Troy. Seated to Greg's left, that's Donnie Smith, the director of media relations for the athletic department here at JSU. They're enjoying it. Their team is up 66-53 with 3:57 remaining. And Tegan Moore converts the free throw. You know, free throw shooting, they have picked up on average 21 points every game in free throws. Today, not quite that many. They have had 12 free throws made today in 19 attempts. But they normally are a great free throw shooting team and earn many a trip to the charity stripe.
Western Kentucky looking for a stop here. Again, they would love to get the stop, get the ball back, and get this lead to under 10. They've been unable to do that here so far in the second half.
Erkins Ford won't get it to go. Rebound loose, covered up, taken back by the Gamecocks. Shot clock at 19.
Great hustle and effort by both teams.
Trying to drive through with a turnaround with 4 on the game clock, or the shot clock. Niago couldn't get a shot. It went out of bounds. It'll be Western Kentucky ball going the other way.
And here's their opportunity to cut into this double-digit lead and get it down to 9 or maybe 8 with a 3. This coach Plana substituting back and forth. Defensive and offensive substitutions here on changes of possession.
Bringing it up the floor, Jack Edlin. Newell, rejected by Niagu. Newell at 6'9", and the 7-footer Niago just ate him up.
Big play there, and that's what you want from your big fella. You want him to be a rim protector. You see here, he recovers nicely and rejects Newell's shot without fouling. Again, another missed opportunity for the Hilltoppers, unable to cut this lead to single digits. Jack State with another opportunity to work some clock here.
Screen set and played right through. Mustafa just sends it back to the perimeter. Erkins Ford inside. There's the lay-in for Jacoby Hill. Nice body work by Jacoby.
And a great assist by Erkins Ford, who has put together a tremendous game. He had a career-high 20 against East Tennessee State 9 days ago. He's put together a great follow-up game tonight.
And there's a beautiful jam home by Grant Newell, the senior from Chicago. Keeps it close, but time is very much on Jack State's side. Mustafa gives it away. It's taken back, retaken by Boone. Up it goes, and the lay-in and a timeout taken by Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Coach Harper very upset with the pass there by Mustafa. Just a very lazy timeout cost the Gamecocks.
59-68. It's within shouting distance. We're coming back after this. That gentleman is Bryce Baltz. He is the basketball sports information director for JSU. This is his last game here. He is going back to graduate school and heading to North Alabama in Florence. He's a great guy. He has done an outstanding job here providing us with information and so on, and we're going to miss him and we wish him all the best. He wants to be an English teacher, and he's going to go and get his degree so he can become an English teacher. So I wish him all the best.
Absolutely, I concur 100%.
What we used to do to English teachers in school. But no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm married to an English teacher, so I definitely applaud the move. And there you can see Mustafa takes a pretty rough hit there, unintentional, but a lot of contact there from Edlin, putting him at the line. And again, we mentioned earlier that free throws would be a big part of this second half because of the foul issues for Western Kentucky, and Jacksonville State making one of two there.
Inside of 2 minutes to go. Edlin. Everybody's standing around for Western Kentucky. That's upsetting their head coach. Here's Boone over top of everybody. Rebound. Erkins Ford gets slapped. No foul. And they're going to call that, and it gives the ball to Western Kentucky.
Didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was going to say Jack State clearly needed to rebound and not let Western Kentucky hit the offensive glass, something they've done all night. And that time the Gamecocks fortunate the arrow was pointing in their direction.
Here the inbound. Quickly up the right side, Jacoby Hill. Nash and the reach around. Foul is on Newell. be his 4th foul. At the line, Jay Nash. He has a couple of shots. Makes the first one.
Nash has had a very efficient game tonight. That free throw gives him 9 points. He's not a big scorer, but he hit a big 3 back in the first half that kind of got Jack State going and helped them build that lead. So he's got double figures. A very good game here off the bench for backup point guard Jay Nash.
So Nash with 10 points. That is a new career high for him. He had 9 against Arkansas State. So a new career high for him. And there's a free neck massage. AC Bryant. It'll be his second.
You see Moore getting by Bryant and clear contact there by AC. Not ideal to foul Western Kentucky if you're Jacksonville State, stopping the clock, putting him at the line, giving him a chance to cut into the lead.
We told you how good a free throw shooter team they are, averaging 21 free throws made a game. Tonight only 13, but still a decent number. Gamecocks tonight with 22 free throws made.
Yeah, the big calling card for Western Kentucky coming in was, as you mentioned, the ability to get to the line and make free throws, one of the best in the country. Then their production off the bench. It wasn't great in the first half, only 9 points, but they're sitting at 32 points off the bench here for the game now. So much better job in the second half, but will it be enough?
A minute 6 remaining. We welcome those of you just tuning in. Final moments of Jack State and Western Kentucky, and we've got a timeout being taken on the floor here at Pete Matthews Coliseum.
Yeah, Coach Harper's going to draw up a much better inbound situation than what the Gamecocks just had. They had all 5 players kind of crowded down there in one corner of the end of the court, right in front of the player inbounding the ball, and didn't have much movement at all, no screening at all. So Gamecocks fortunate, though, they had plenty of timeouts to use so that they didn't get the 5-second call.
After this game, Western Kentucky is home against Sam Houston on January 2nd, and Sunday, January 4th, against Louisiana Tech. And as we mentioned earlier, after this one, the Gamecocks hit the road to Delaware and Liberty on January 2nd and 4th before returning home against Florida International on January 7th. So that's what's upcoming, and you'll see it all right here on ESPN+. There's a kicked basketball and a kicked player as well who gets help to his feet.
Maybe time for the Gamecocks to release somebody to alleviate some of this pressure right on top of the inbounder, Jay Nash.
Yeah. With a minute 6 to go, still a 10-point ball game. Loose ball taken by the Hilltoppers to the corner. A Trey try, no. Rebound put up, no good, off the hand of Edlin. And there'll be a foul on Western Kentucky.
Boy, that was a missed opportunity for the Hilltoppers there. They got the steal on the inbound and had a couple of cracks at it, but couldn't get the shot to fall. Now Jack State can continue to kind of close the door on Western Kentucky if they can make their free throws.
And AC Bryant can. Now Fitzgerald sits and Mustafa checks back into the lineup, and he'll go into the backcourt and rejoin 2 of his teammates there. Rebound, Western. Inside a minute to go. The fact that they're shooting 29% is not going to help them get a win, Western Kentucky.
Yeah, we talked about that at halftime. They were only shooting 20% from the field, about 15% from three. You thought that would go up. Well, it has, but not by much, and it's just been a poor shooting night inside the Pete here for Western Kentucky. Hard to win on the road in conference play shooting the ball this poorly.
Tegan Moore with his personal foul, his fourth.
And that despite the fact, Eli, that they have out-rebounded Jack State on the offensive glass 22-5. Incredible effort in that area.
Gamecocks with a steal. There's the give and bango. A.C. Bryant puts the exclamation point on this one. Moore, he'll come back with a tray and a timeout called by Coach Plona for Western Kentucky. But I'm telling you, that was an emphatic jam right there.
Well, you said it perfectly, the exclamation mark by A.C. Bryant, and also an exclamation mark on what a second half for this young man. 19 points in the second half for A.C. Bryant to follow up that 29-point outburst that he had against East Tennessee State. And I mentioned earlier, Erskine's Ford had a career-high 17 in that win, and a very solid game for him tonight. 11 points and 5 rebounds, and Jack State on the cusp, Eli, of a big conference win here.
They are indeed, behind Erskines, Ford, and many others. Nice to open up the season, the regular season, way they did, but nicer to open up the conference season with the win before going on the road for a pair.
Gamecocks spreading the floor a little bit more on this inbound. You've got 2 players back at half court, giving a little more space in front of the inbounder.
And there's a reach-in foul by Cam Hafner. That'll be the second on Hafner. Of course, Gamecocks in the double bonus. First half, JSU led 38-22 at intermission. Here in the second half, they go from 38 to 38. So they match their first half with their second half. Western goes from 22 in the first half to 42 here in the second half, but still not enough to slow down the Gamecocks. Hafner got it for 3. Timeout, their final timeout for Western Kentucky. So they've gotten it to single figures.
The only issue, there's just 24 seconds left.
Yep, that's it.
So obviously they need to take advantage of the stoppage in play and get set up and try to create a steal off the inbound. If not, foul Jack State. Gamecocks they've shot free throws pretty well overall at 71%, but they've had a lot of 1-for-2 trips here down the stretch where this game could already be over for Jacksonville State.
They have. Western Kentucky swept this series in 2024. JSU swept it last year. So a win tonight would give the Gamecocks a 3-game winning streak in this series with the Hilltoppers.
Well, as they say, a home win in conference play feels like 2 wins. So every time you can win a conference game at home, especially as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast, one that's scheduled here right after Christmas with a long layoff between the last time both of these 2 teams have played.
Yep.
If you can come out of this with a win, especially being the home team if you're Jack State, it's going to feel like much more than 1 win.
The Gamecocks go back to Diddle Arena February 5th. As on the inbounds, there are all sorts of reach-ins fouled. Who are they going to call it on? Newell? It will be Newell, and he will be gone right here. So Newell will foul out. He leaves with 6 points and 6 rebounds. At the line is Jacoby Hill. That one is no good. Hill with 13 points. Again, that ties his career high, and that breaks his career high. He has had 13 against both. He had against Reinhardt, and tonight he has 14 points. Here now, the foul the other way as Mustafa gets tied up in things. Going to be the third foul on Hafner. Mustafa. Boy, that's a high arcing free throw, isn't it?
It really is. He has a unique outside shot from the free throw line as well as the 3-point line.
17 points for him. And that's where he stays. Boone's shot no good. Rebound taken. Dished underhand into the corner. No. And everybody will fight for the basketball with 1.2 seconds remaining. 1.2 remaining. Hackman inbounds it, and that is going to do it. This game is in the books, and JSU gets the victory by a final of 78-67. And Jack State gets out of the box in conference play with a 1-0 start.
Yeah, and as many ups and downs as Jack State has experienced in non-conference play, to open up conference play here at home the way they did, following up the big road win at East Tennessee State a few days ago. This is a great start for Jack State. If you're Western Kentucky, you just burn this film and move on, because the effort was there, obviously, as evidenced by their offensive rebound. They just couldn't get the ball to stay down tonight, and AC Bryant just too big a second half when they tried to make their comeback.
Boone and Moore were the leading scorers for Western Kentucky, 18 and 17 respectfully. As far as Jack State is concerned, 23 points was the high water mark for Bryant. What a ball game he played.
Yeah, again, what a great second half for AC Bryant. If he doesn't do that, Eli, Western Kentucky makes this a much different game, because they came out of the locker room very determined to get back in the game, but AC Bryant had the answer.
Mustafa had 17, 14 for Hill, 11 for Erkins Ford, and 10 for Nash. So all in all, it was a very solid performance tonight for Jack State, a 78-67 winner over Western Kentucky in the conference opener. So for Mickey Shadricks, I'm Eli Gold saying so long from Jacksonville, Alabama. Again, the final score, Jack State 78, Western Kentucky 67. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and are archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.